Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, focusing in a little bit more in depth on the very interesting topic of narcissistic rage. When you witness narcissistic rage, it generally comes out of the blue. It comes at very inappropriate times. It can also come at times when you're really at your finest hour, when you're really in your zone, when you're really doing your thing, when you really are using some real life examples, perhaps telling a story that occurred to you, something that it was very important to you. You might have seen something at work or seen something on the news that really resonated with you, and you tried to, or even a movie that you saw that you loved, or an experience that you had, and you tried to share this with the narcissist or the psychopath. We're using all spectrums here in terms of severity of the cluster B. And, this is something that is based in what you have, experienced, and it's something that is, just a matter of fact, and you try to share that with a narcissist, and you get a comeback that is just completely out of left field, and the affect, the AFFEC, which means their emotional reaction is really a disconnect from the story itself, and to the degree that they might launch into narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage really explodes when you are not serving as their supply, when you are no longer just an extension of them, reacting as they expect, complying with their perfectionistic standards, when you're not really serving to be there and really mirror them in terms of their admiration, their need for attention, all their sundry narcissistic needs, and you begin to live your own life, you can bet that those jabs are going to come back, that narcissistic rage is going to explode. The minute you think maybe you have worked things out with this narcissist, you've made amends, you've maybe had a couple experiences together, but lo and behold, you're going on faith, you're thinking that this narcissist individual perhaps has a glimmer of hope that they might change, and then you're out at one next event or dinner or a conversation, and then here comes, from left field, the same toxic reactions, the narcissistic rage. In fact, the rage could be almost like an alcoholic who hasn't had a drink for a year, and then they take that first drink, and next thing you know, they're downing the bottle. The narcissist is unable to contain themselves. They lack poor behavioral controls when it comes especially to rage. And rage, really when we look at the expansiveness of the emotions that they feel, they really don't have a wide array of emotions. Their emotional repertoire is actually very limited. And as compared to a healthy person who has a whole richness and array of emotions in terms of happiness, joy, bliss, discovery, adventure, consideration, reflection, consciousness, right or wrong, integrity, and the grappling and the development and the human evolution and refining of these. The narcissist and the psychopath really don't enjoy those. They really kind of like stockpile people. They stockpile the people who they have control over. And their possessions also serve as the same purpose, all to perpetuate that facade and feeling that they are superior and more important, excessively more important than other people. And coupled with a lack of empathy, it creates a really hotbed for which they are going to erupt in rage when the attention is not on them. And it is actually very childish when you see it, and it really does make you wonder, why would they come out and react this way, for really no reason. And it's because they are attacking their narcissistic supply as being threatened. They are not perceived as being the one in control of the show, and they cannot give it up to another person. They cannot stand that. It is infuriating to them. The fact that somebody might be able to speak, the fact that somebody might be able to smile, The fact that somebody might be able to hug somebody, they're actually going to turn that around and make that a weakness of yours, even though it's a strength. That's where all the deluding, that's where all the brainwashing and the gaslighting and the confusion and the whole codependency takes place, because really, you almost get programmed into, trained into wanting to avoid this looming monster of narcissistic rage. So that's how the codependent tendencies are perpetuated. And then oftentimes people then will stay with this narcissist, really too long. Even, they will be loyal to this person or to this business association, which is really not in their best interest, too long, because they pull so much out of themselves and the goodness that they assign, and that it's their overgiving that then projects onto this person, so that they're really not able to see this person or this organization for who they are. It perpetuates a denial when they're really projecting excuses onto this person, or enabling them, or giving them another chance, or saying, well, maybe they're not introducing me to their kids because it's the right thing to do, and it's been 3 years. They don't want to rush the relationship. They don't want their kids to meet me yet because he wants to take it slow, and what an awesome guy that would do that, and it's been 5 years. Yeah, maybe they just cheated because it was a momentary impulse, and they're really, really sorry, and they really do love me. It's the 3rd time that they've done it. I mean, and then you tend to project, your good qualities onto them, or, keeping them in that heightened superior sense, which kind of idealize them, have an erroneous idealization of them, and so it perpetuates that, and that keeps you stuck. Stuck, which is like in denial, and stuck meaning, you're not getting a firm grip out on your independence and what's good for you, and really what is going to enlighten you and bring you happiness and fulfillment moving forward. So until you can really break away and really sort of, get yourself out of the suction of this narcissistic rage and that whole cycle of feeding their superiority, you will forever be feeling like there's something missing. There's an indelible pain in your life that you can't quite put your finger on. And it is the victim mentality that is ensued and ensnared upon you by the narcissist or psychopath, which has nothing to do with truth. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.